I got some books. More books. It's actually really funny. These door intros have become a bit of a meme, but it's also... It's really funny now that I do these door intros, because I'm finding out that a lot of people that used to be subscribed to me when I was much smaller, that people know me locally, and I'm hearing, like, I get these conversations like, oh yeah, I watch your content, I see the door intros. I'm like, I don't know why, I don't know if I should feel cringe or not. And to be honest, if I could be transparent why I do the door intros, one, they're inspired from Max Mofo. If you know who that content creator is, you know who it is, who used to do like Pokemon card openings and stuff. And so he used to do that kind of stuff. And so I took some inspiration from that. But also I just like adding a bit of fun and flair, like silliness to the videos. Because in a day and an age where AI is taking over, and I'm going to be talking about that in this video, where AI is taking over everything, it's nice to just add something human to the video. Even if it's cringe, even if it's stupid, even if it... I'm going to spice it up at some point. But it's just one of those where it's like, it adds a human element to it instead of everything just being sort of soulless. And it's fun to have that connection. And I think it's one of the most positive changes that I've actually made to the channel is doing the door intros. Even though it's a really stupid change, it was a very positive change. Now, of course, today I got some more books, more Dance in the Vampire Bund. So at some point I will probably do a part 2. The other parts are here as well, which they've just been sitting here the entire time. So now they go together. Not really in the greatest order, but they basically will go together, and I will slowly get the rest of them, and I will start looking at doing a part 2. But that won't be for a while, because I'm doing other videos on that channel at some point that I want to get to. But I wanted to talk about this sort of like modern audience, and is it ruining anime? Is social media ruining anime? And also, is AI kind of ruining anime? And I'm not talking like AI in the sense of like animations and stuff, not just that, but more conversations, the controlling of conversations, and how we as fans consume anime. Because how we consume anime has changed over the years. I think we all need to be honest there and say, you know, compared to 2025 to 2020 to 2015 to 2010, even as we were much younger for some of us, how we consume anime is very different. I mean, how I consumed anime as a kid was watching Cheese TV if you're an Australian, or like some kids program when you get up in the mornings, and watching anime through that, whether you're watching like Dragon Ball Z or Sailor Moon, Digimon, Pokemon, etc. Like, there were all these, like, you didn't have as much variety of anime to watch back then, but then as time has gone on, we've had more accessibility with technology, right? Technology has absolutely made anime much more accessible. I don't necessarily agree that audience growth is the only factor. I feel like people that use that are just being not quite truthful and not looking at the bigger picture and are only looking at parts of the jigsaw puzzle. But I think technology has absolutely allowed the general consumer base to be able to have access to anime, which has helped the actual fan base grow. And I'm not against the community growing. I'm just against people that are joining the community, joining it with ill intentions. And I think when we look at modern audiences, we've got to look at two parts to the equation. We've got to look at the consumer and also content creators, because you've got just normal consumers, right? People that just consume like analysis videos or video essay videos or explain videos, whether it's light novels, mangas, animes, etc. And then you've got the content creators, right? There's consumers through content, whether it's video stuff or just anime in general, and then your content creators, because content creators does shape a lot of discussions there. I mean, there are games that make more sales because of content creators, and so there are many animes that do get a lot more attention. I mean, a great example is like a Shield Hero, right? Shield Hero got so much attention due to dumb drama that a lot of people ended up watching it, and now every 6 months you get the same stupid video essay copy pasted from every video essay channel that doesn't even actually watch the anime. And you know they don't watch the anime because they all say the exact same things, have the exact same opinions, and make the exact same errors in the exact same places. It's like all forms of originality have gone out the window. And there was a content creator that was talking today about, and some of you might know who it is and who I'm referring to, but I'll leave the mystery up to you. If you know who it is, say in the comments. But there's a content creator that was talking about a tab called the Inspiration tab. And we're going to spoil something at the end of the video. There's a bit of a spoiler that I'm going to drop at the end of the video, but I want to kind of get into that topic of like Inspiration tab. And I think it's funny because when we talk about the Inspiration tab, it's basically an AI that looks at the kind of content you make, the kind of content your viewership, your subscribers, viewers watch, and what's kind of being discussed in the wider audience. And it kind of mixes it all together and all the keywords, and it's like a massive database of information and kind of sifting through it. And it presents information of like what topics you should talk about, what discussions you're going to talk about, etc., etc. And so that individual content creator was pointing out how discussions, and particularly, especially in the anime community, can be steered heavily due to this AI within the inspection system. And it's something that I am concerned of, is that the soullessness within the actual audience, the modern audience, is going to be steered completely in whatever algorithm decides to control. Like, the algorithm is going to dictate. Because you can sit there and say, well, you can resist, you can resist, you can resist. But the thing is that the system is what promotes. And this is one of the things that I actually get frustrated with YouTube, is their search engine is really bad now. It is absolutely trash. Because if I was to look up, let's say, for example, and I have to actually do this regularly, and it's a horrible result. Like, I'll use an example over the last couple of weeks. I wanted to look at other Dance and the Vampire Bun like videos out there. I type it in, you get a couple of results, and then you get the, oh, well, were you thinking about these? Or you might be interested in these. It's like, okay, so I deliberately go through your search engine to look up a specific anime, and you're now going to give me recommendations that have nothing to do with what I looked up. And it's not even just that. It's like, for example, I've been playing a mobile game called Nikkei. Some of you might know that. And so I've been looking up lore videos because I wanted to kind of learn a bit more about the lore while I was playing the game, because I was fascinated by it. And also just general opinions on the game itself. And straight away, I look up Nikkei stuff and I go through the search engine, and you get a bunch of results. And then suddenly it's, oh, do you want to watch this random video about geopolitics because you watched one Asmongold video? And it's just like, no, I'm looking up Nikkei videos, not Asmongold. Can we stick to, like, the search engine is so driven on trying to recommend things that it's becoming harder and harder and harder to actually watch the things that I want to watch. Like, YouTube is really determined to tell me what I should watch and not what I want to watch. And it's getting worse. And to be honest, YouTube would have been far worse if a lot of us didn't push back against, for example, YouTube. And you may not know this, YouTube wanted to get rid of subscriptions. Like, subscribers. Like, you know how you subscribe? Remember to subscribe to my channel? They wanted to get rid of that. And then get rid of the subscription fee, because they wanted to purely force people to watch what they believed was good through the recommendation system. You would never find a lot of content creators that way. And so I feel like when we look at a modern audience, we look at how the modern audience is being controlled through algorithms, whether it's through the X algorithm, Facebook algorithm, Reddit, YouTube, etc. And a lot of how we consume anime is being dictated by these groups. And it doesn't help when you've got video essay channels that just produce the same slop. And this is what I meant about the Inspiration tab. The Inspiration tab has been around for a lot longer than before AI has been around. Before someone says, what, you're saying AI existed before AI? Technically, it was just a different form, and it's called plagiarism. Where a lot of video essay channels, especially in the anime community, they'll look at what the competition does, they'll look at all the top videos, and they'll just write down all the videos and the titles and look at the, like, screenshot the thumbnails, depending on different degree. They'll watch the videos, they'll write down notes of everything, and then they'll go, okay, I'll make that video and I'll time it for this. That's why every 6 months you get the same isekai slop video where it's like, isekais are all bad except these select ones that I'm going to glaze. And it's always like a ReZero glaze or something like that. And I love ReZero, but it's like, I think it's getting to the point where there's no new opinions being made. It's the same opinion recycled every 6 months. It's the same for Shield Hero. It's the same for Mushoku Tensei. It's the same, I said just ReZero, Overlord, etc., etc. Like, it's always like the same half a dozen animes And if there's a new one that pops in, it generally moves up and down. But every 6 months, it's the same copy-paste opinions. There's no real originality. And that has been a problem well before AI became an issue. Now, AI has made the problem way worse. So now we look at a modern audience coming into the anime community, being heavily steered in certain conversations because of an algorithm, constant plagiarism, AI becoming an issue. And to be honest, a lot of fans consuming things through TikTok shorts, which then get out of context stuff and then go into animes and go, this anime is problematic because of this scene. And it's like you get certain content creators that go, I've read the light novels and I think this anime is problematic. And you know they haven't read the light novels. They're just using it as a shield. And yes, you know who I'm referring to. So when I look at the modern audience and I look at the grand scheme of things, I just think, yes, I absolutely do think the modern audience is ruining anime and a lot of its discussions, like good, healthy, interesting discussions. Because everything is about the current fancy trends, trend. Interesting, unique conversations can no longer be had. Why? Because every system is now telling you what to do. And the inspiration tab is, like I said, it's like plagiarism on steroids. It's like hyperdrive, because it tells you exactly what to say, exactly the points. Like it will go through, and I'm looking at it now, and it has things like hooks, outlines, titles, different types of titles, different types of thumbnails. It will use other content creators related as a reference now. That's actually something new. It goes related videos on YouTube. And it's just like different things, like different content creators that have similar titles. And there's some really interesting titles in here. And so when you look at this kind of thing, you realize that the system is constantly pushing. It's no longer a, hey, I'm just going to see what the competition does and generally kind of like take inspiration. You couldn't copy. But now YouTube is just like, well, we'll just tell you what to do. And you can sit there and say, yeah, but many content creators will resist it. The thing is content creators want their channels to survive. If you don't do this, your channel will die. And that's the problem. If you don't play by the new rules, your channel will die. And so inevitably, they will succumb to the system. It's either you die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain. Yes, I'm doing a Batman quote. But it's true. You're either going to die a hero, not following the system, or you're going to end up joining them. And you want to know how I know that? Because this video is called Modern Audiences Are Really... Modern Audiences, Are They Really Ruining Anime? Yes, I've got the inspiration tab up, and this video is all based on that specific video recommended, because I'm experimenting to see exactly how this behaves. So before people freak out, I'm doing what he did better, because what V did was he would title it that, and then not actually, like, he'd do a different thumbnail and he'd talk about it differently. No, I'm just going to make the entire video built on it. Because it's actually an interesting topic. I was like, okay, it's an interesting topic, but let's see how this works. Now I've got to try and make an actual somewhat decent thumbnail. So I want to see how that works. And I'll say the results in the next video. But it's one of those where it's like, I need to see the evidence. Like, does YouTube actually heavily push it? And when I look at it, and it says, like, hooks and all that kind of stuff, like, it has, like, questions and provocations. I haven't gone through this. I just took the title and built the idea around it. Direct and controversial, intrigue and speculation. It says it's like very popular topic reviewers. And down the bottom, it actually recommends channels like Chibi Reviews. From a video from the 23rd of April of 2025, Netflix just ruined this anime with a live adaptation, which is to do with the bet anime, the gambling series. So when I see stuff, and to be honest, AI was becoming a problem then. And then there's another video recommended from someone I've never heard before from 2023. So there are also some interesting other titles as well. And just give some examples before I finish the video. Are modern audiences really ruining anime? ? The truth. Anime's audience problem. Elitism versus new fans. Who's to blame? Is woke culture destroying anime fandoms? Well, there you go. Put the word woke in there. That will get some clicks. The toxic fandom myth. Are audiences ruining anime or saving it? So it's like straight away, it has a couple of suggestions. You can ask for more. You can throw ideas at it and see what it says. And so this whole topic is in part to do with what I'm doing right now. So it kind of loops around. It's like, wait, you're talking about AI and it's in the inspiration tab, and then I'm using it to prove a point. Because if this video does better than normally, then it proves the point of the entire video that I'm talking about now. Is that by this video doing well, which it says very popular topic with your viewers, instantaneously, it proves that the system is going to continue to influence discussion within the anime community, which is where the modern audience are they really ruining anime? And it's like, yeah, in a way, because we've been heavily influenced by algorithms, heavily influenced by politics, heavily influenced by all these outside sources, corporations and stuff. And are we really getting the product that we want at the end of the day? Are we really having the proper discussions we probably want to have? And instead we're having discussions that we don't generally probably want to have. So it's a bit of a play around the mind of a bigger picture kind of situation. And I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Because I could have made this way more fancily edited to try and see if it would push. And maybe I'll consider like doing another experiment with this kind of style, but with a bit more highly edited. We'll see. I just want to test how effective this system is, but I'm not going to do it all the time. I generally have discussions that I want to talk about. But the thing is actually some of the stuff I do talk about that I find interesting, YouTube is picking up on it as well and using that. So like any videos that do well on my channel, they're kind of like, hey, you should do more of these specific things. So it goes through and it says, these are what you should continue discussing. So straight away, let's say you did 100 videos, right? You don't even need to do that many. You could do like 20 videos. It could probably pick up the 5 top ones and say, these are ones that you should do. Or if you did 100 videos, right? It could probably go through the top 10 of those and say, these are the ones that did best. Keep doing stuff like that, ignore the rest. And so YouTube is inevitably, like I said, going to slowly remove some of that stuff that doesn't do as well. But sometimes those videos are some of the most interesting gems out there, and those are the ones that may pop off later on. Sometimes the most gem out there is something that's just like quietly out there, interesting. It's got its own audience. But YouTube's system and how we treat the algorithm, it's not even just this system alone, it's just the algorithm in general, is slowly forcing conversations to be very much narrowed down into very specific things. And I think a lot of interesting animes are going to now get ignored also because of this. And very specific conversations are going to be pushed, and I think some of that is to do with politics, which is why I talk about how I hate having politics forced in anime. So again, love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you like this video, hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you beautiful nerds in the next video.